So over the last few years, I've spent countless hours, like honestly, just trawling through like so many websites looking for boxing gloves, boxing boots, trying to pick the right pair, trying to find the right ones. And I remembered back to when I first started boxing, and I didn't have a clue what I was looking at all. I think it was Boxfit UK. I went on and I bought the cheapest pair of boxing gloves they had. Lucky for me, it turned out pretty well. They were a pair of BBE lace, Velcro. I think they were like £20 in the end, and they worked out pretty well, but I was one of the lucky ones. I've seen quite a few people overspend on boxing gloves when they've just started out, and turns out the gloves aren't what they expected. They're not as good, or they're not allowed to be used for what they want to use them for, such as sparring if they've ended up with 10 ounce gloves. So in this video, I'm going to go through a list of things that I recommend to every guy or girl getting into boxing. So let's jump into it. So as all these items are going to be in the cheaper end of the market, so it's people just starting out. So if you've been boxing for like 10 years already, you've probably already got most of this equipment, and you've got probably like much higher spec sort of equipment as well. So like I said, there will be links in the description, so if there's anything in this video you think I could really do with that, head down below and grab yourself one from Amazon. At number one, obviously, if you're buying all your boxing gear, you're going to need somewhere to keep it. So number one is obviously a gym bag. I found this one here from Under Armour that they stock on Amazon. It's a good buy. You can get them from around £20 to £30. They often are in the sale as well, so keep an eye out for those. Obviously, you're going to need all your gym stuff to keep in, and also like people forget, like when you're going to gym, for me, I'm asthmatic, so I need someone to keep my inhaler. I need someone to put my phone. If you take your keys, if you're driving, you need someone to put your keys. So get a good gym bag. Number two is a water bottle, because you will be thirsty, I guarantee it. People will be surprised how much they sweat when they're boxing. It's probably why Boxfit classes were probably invented, because someone went into a boxing class and probably just absolutely drenched the whole floor. It happens, even me. I'm like 62 kilos, and when I sweat, it's bad. Like, especially in boxing, a lot of the gyms don't have great ventilation. I go to one which is like upstairs in a gym, and there's like no windows. Trust me, the mirrors in there are just like completely fogged up. You can't see nothing. So make sure you get yourself a decent water bowl. Your gym might have a tap, so you'll be able to refill it, but if you're not too sure, take 2 drinks. It doesn't hurt to be well prepared, or just like one massive one, either way. And try not to use sports drinks too much. When you're thirsty and you're working out, sports drinks are going to feel quite heavy. They're good for after the session, but during the session you want to be drinking like something quite light, so water obviously is the best option. If you don't like water, put like a little bit of squash in it. When you're sweating out and then you have like a sugar drink, you're going to taste it a lot more anyway, so make sure you dilute it down a little bit, just so you're not having too much sugar during your session, and it'll make it a bit lighter, and you'll find that your body just absorb it a lot easier. Number 3 is a skipping rope. If you're joining the boxing gym, be prepared to skip. You're gonna do it a lot. Every warm up, every like in between exercise and stuff, you're gonna find yourself skipping a lot. Good idea is to get one beforehand and practice a little bit. Because I remember when I first started skipping, I was absolutely dreadful. I had no coordination between my hands and my feet in that sort of instance. Even though I played like cricket and things like that before, where if like things are mixing, but skipping, whole new world. Could not do it at all. So get yourself a skipping rope. Honestly, don't overspend on a skipping rope. I've used £30 ones, I've used leather ones that have been like £40. The best skipping rope I've ever had is a cheap £2.99 one. They are the best, hands down. Don't overspend, get a cheap one. I think I got one in the description for £2.99 from Amazon. It's a bargain. It's no special features because you do not need them. Just get a nice basic one. Then further down the line, if you enjoy it and you want to try something else, you can go for it, but honestly, cheap ones, in my opinion, are way better than all the others. They don't faff around with no random settings or tech or whatever. Just nice, cheap, easy. It's easier to do your crosses with compared to like a metal one, and they're usually a lot lighter as well. When you buy the ones with all the bearings and the handles and the weights and that, you're going to find actually you get tired a lot quicker. So get a nice easy one, £2.99, bargain, you can't go wrong. Number 4 is the boots. If you watched any of my previous videos, I always recommend getting the right equipment when you start an exercise or a sport, and boots, in my opinion, are just important as your boxing gloves, which we'll get to later on. So boots, this pair of Adidas boots I think are perfect for beginners. You can get them from around the £66 margin. To be honest, any pair of like wrestling or boxing boots will do. You want that ankle support is what you're really looking for. Probably not hiking boots, they'll be a bit too heavy, but any shoes that are lightweight, that have the ankle support, So maybe if you've got some basketball shoes, they're again a bit heavy and a bit cumbersome for boxing, but make sure you have shoes for ankle support. I would definitely recommend picking up a cheapish pair of either wrestling or boxing boots. Either one can work fine. You're going to find that your form is much easier. You're going to have much more ankle support, so you can stay on your toes and you can move around a lot easier. So that is a definite. If you're starting boxing and you're spending like £150 on gloves, stop, look at what you're doing, bring that budget right back down and split it between your boots and your gloves. They are like one of the most important pieces. I can't stress it enough. You might do a lot of running in your classes, depending on what sort of class you go to. Usually if they do running, they do it either at the very start or the end, so you might want to wear your like running shoes to the gym if it's your first session, and then change into the boxing boots, just so you don't turn up and you're like, oh, I've got to run. You don't want to be running your boxing boots, it's probably going to hurt your feet quite a bit. Number 5 is hand wraps. If you go into a boxing class, you're going to be boxing hopefully and punching stuff, so you really need to protect your hands. It's so easy, especially when you first start, to hurt your wrists, your knuckles, your fingers even. I've had it when I've punched and my fingers have like shot back down and it really hurts. It's going to put you out of action for at least a week or two. It's not fun, so make sure you get yourself some hand wraps. You can pick them up again $5.99 and you'll be able to get the best ones on the market, in my opinion. The rival ones, they're good, stretchy, the Velcro lasts. They'll be linked down below, of course, and I've been using them for like the last 4 or 5 years, and to be honest, I haven't found a better pair of hand wraps yet. And $5.99, just bite the bullet, get them, watch a video on how to do them. I have a video about hand wraps, but you might want to watch a few so you can get a good idea of different ways to wrap your hands, because there's so many. Try different ones, practice doing it at home, because it's going to take you a while when you start, and the session probably isn't going to want to wait for you to wrap your hands. So practice a few times, feel what it's like. If you've got a punch bag at home, give it a little go, find what works for you, not what works for the guy on YouTube, and give it a go. At number 6 we have gloves. So when it comes to gloves, you don't want to overspend on them, and you want to think about what you actually want to achieve at the boxing gym. Are you going to get fit and get a bit stronger, build a bit of muscle mass, or tone up a bit? If that's the case, get yourself some like 10 or 12 ounce gloves. What they are, they're going to be a bit lighter and the padding's going to be moved around a bit, so it's just going to be able to give you a bit more of an enjoyable session. You're not going to feel the burn too much. You're going to be able to push yourself a little bit more than you would with 16 ounce gloves, which are for more so if you're going and you've got the idea that you're going to go into sparring, you want to do sparring drills with a partner and so on. You definitely need to make sure you get 16 ounce gloves straight off the bat. You can use them on the bag as well. I see a lot of people say, oh, you need separate gloves for bag and for sparring. Like, if you're just starting out, and this is why I recommend to buy a cheaper set of gloves, so that's a bit easier to replace, and then you can start buying higher quality down the line. But start off, I think it's Valor, I'm pretty sure it's Valor, do a great set of gloves, 16 ounce, I think they're around the £30 mark, but they also do them in 12 ounce as well, and these are the gloves, to be honest, I'd recommend to any beginner. I have used them before at my local gym. I don't own a pair, but I borrowed someone else's, and honestly for £30 I think they're a great pair of gloves. They're probably not going to hold up like your Clayton Reyes or anything like that, but starting out at £30, they're going to at least last you, like, I'd probably say 9 months, so it gives you 9 months of a trial pretty much. If you enjoy it after 9 months, then maybe you would have saved up some money by then to upgrade the gloves. But 100%, if you're just going in for the fitness side of things, get yourself a pair of 12 ounce, you'll find it more enjoyable. If you want to take it a bit more serious and you're looking at getting into sparring, just go straight in with 16 ounce. Yeah, they're going to wear out a bit quicker, and eventually you're not going to be able to use them for sparring, because the padding will wear down a bit if you're using on the bag as well. But like I said, it's going to take at least 6 months for that to happen, unless you're like using them every single day for like 4 hours a day. I mean, I've never been to like a professional gym where the guy spars 12 rounds and then changes his gloves to then work on a bag. No, they just go straight from sparring, have a little drink, and then they're on the bag. The hands are taped, the gloves are taped, they don't want to take them off, so don't listen to everyone saying get 2 pairs. You don't need to spend that much money yet. Maybe further down the line you can, but at the moment, just get yourself a £30 pair of Vader gloves. They're going to treat you excellent for the value. Number 7, this is a follow-on from the last one, so if you're just going in for fitness, you can ignore this step. You don't need it, your teeth will be fine. But if you are looking to get into sparring and things like that, get yourself Gum Shield. This one from Shock Doctor, I used the exact same one for at least like 3 years. I probably should have replaced it in between, but honestly it was fine. I just kept remolding it whenever my teeth changed a bit or I felt uncomfortable. It works great if like you do rugby or anything, you might already have one. But nice and simple, keep your teeth in check, keep them in your mouth where you need them, and it's nice, simple, bargain, just go for it. Like I said earlier, you're probably going to sweat a lot in the gym. It's just one of those things that happen. It's boxing, it's a sweaty sport. So the last one is to get a towel. Do everyone a favour, if you're using a heavy bag and you're spraying everywhere all over it, give it a wipe down after you use it. If you sit on a bench during the session at any point and you stand up, you look back, it's going to be a bit wet. Just give it a little wipe. It helps everyone else out, keeps the gym a little bit tidier, stops things from smelling as well. Also, you'll be surprised how sweaty your gloves get on the outside. If you say wipe your forehead or anything, you're going to have a lot of sweat on them. You can take like an anti-back spray if you want, and then use a towel at the end to wipe it down. Chuck it in the washing machine when you get home. But make sure you get a gym towel. Also, it's better for you, you can wipe your face and things like that. So it's definitely, in my opinion, the final essential for starting boxing. So yeah, there you have it. They are my 8 pieces of gear that I recommend to anyone starting boxing. If you have any questions or any recommendations for anyone starting boxing as well, leave them down below, share them with everyone, don't keep them to yourself. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video guys, please do leave a like, it really helps the channel out, and subscribe if you want to see more. Hopefully we should be getting content out now weekly, hopefully twice weekly, can't guarantee that, but that's what I'm pushing for. You can also read about this video on my blog down below, it will be linked, and if you have any questions or anything for me personally, either comment section, the responses might be like a day later, I'm a bit slow, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll probably reply within the hour and you can get your answer a bit quicker.